Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Think Twice versus Hoist the Colors. We're going to jump right into this draft here. Rampage already banned out for Hoist the Colors. Not a Aurora
Iggy?
and not an Iggy ban. I
Yep.
think we're going to see Iggy ban next, though.
So what I really think is coming up here next is probably going to be, I would say, Iggy ban. That would make the most sense here. Right now, here, this is Paragon. We have two teams facing against each other in a best-of-3 series to move on to the finals here.
And like you said, Iggy and Scorch, they don't want that hot fire on the map, Shane. Fire that is hot. Aurora picked up the Ice Queen. Hoist the Colors really wants to help Think Twice build a snowman.
Aurora, she had a change recently. Her ultimate, as well as her Hoarfrost Glacial Charge, her kit overall was just improved across the board, and she's been very highly contended. We saw her last game, and her performance was substandard, but that's okay. Sometimes, you go against teams, and you have Aurora games like that. Okay, I'm going to go back to casting. I'm sorry. Okay, I apologize, guys. Think Twice versus Hoist the Colors here, Aurora. Yeah, that's the first time we saw. The point I was trying to make there is that Aurora, we've seen her as a support. The way they ran Aurora previously, I'm not too sure about. But here around with Hoist the Colors, we saw them yesterday. Going to see how they go up against Think Twice, though. Think Twice, man, they've been dominating ever since PEX. And judging by the performance we saw with them yesterday here, Hoist the Colors are undoubtedly the underdogs going in here.
Yeah. Think Twice picking up both the Quang and the Fang. They've got a Lieutenant Bellica on the side of Hoist the Colors. This new roster, Shane, for Think Twice. Clearcast, Apostle, Nerf, Talkflit, and Shinx. The Apostle and Clearcast being the new members is really, really solid lineup. Impressed to see their performance yesterday, and really hope when Epic decides to run another event, we see these guys in another PEX style event. Steel picked up for the side of Hoist the Colors. Does that mean we're going to see a carry Wraith?
I would expect.
Well, 2V is on the side of Hoist the Colors, and we saw him pick up prioritize Twin Blast a lot yesterday.
Hold on, I accidentally started my replay. There we go. We're good. We did it. Think Twice. I'm trying to think of just how traditionally the sort of carries that they like to play. We saw, Fossil ran Wraith carry very, very well. I would say it's probably the best Wraith carry performance we've seen. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they want to go with here. They have options available, though. It's pretty much between Drongo and Wraith, I think, at this point in time.
Yeah, that's been the prioritization. There's Drongo picked up for Think Twice, which means Apostle will be playing Drongo. We've got Quang and Fang. Can I get Apostle? A Fossil? I call it, we both call everybody different names at this point. It's just a running meme as of right now. Wow. I really want to see a Faye gameplay. Until I get my Faye gameplay, I'm not going to be happy with PCL this weekend. So one of these teams in the finals, can we play some Faye?
I think the big thing about Faye is if you take a look at what she contributes compared to other mid laners, Gadget has Sticky Bomb. That's easy, consistent harassment damage. Harassment damage. It's the damage outside of the laning phase that I think that's the reason why we don't see Faye picked up that often. Yes, Nettles is so annoying. It's a bullying ability, just like Sticky Bomb, just like Cosmic Rift is. But outside of the laning phase, it's not as valuable. Team fights generally are decided within about a second or two, and you don't get as much value with Nettles on Faye as you would about a two-man Cosmic Rift or a Sticky Bomb that hits multiple people. I believe that's the main reason why we don't see her picked up. Her ultimate is disgustingly good, especially in an environment where there is no really ability to peel away from it other than just trying to line of sight it. But I think the reason is just because those aforementioned reasons. Outside of the laning phase is really where she starts to struggle. I would love to see Faye too, but I think we're going to continue to see the trend of Gadget, Gideon, so on and so forth.
Sevarog Twin Blast picked up for Hoist the Colors, so 2V will be on Twin Blast, and Fatal Barrage will be on at Sevarog. This leaves the support. Are we going to see a Steel support? We've got Bellica picked up on the other side. I like to see that aggressive play style out of that Steel support from... Oh, we've got a Richter picked up here for Clearcast. Oh, we had a steal on the other side. That's my bad for not looking at the draft properly. Richter picked up for Clearcast here. Nasty lineup for the side of Think Twice. They've got both Fung and Kwong plus that Richter chain. They've got a nasty front line and really solid engage.
So what they really have here is a nasty front line between the Richter, the Kwong, Feng Mao as well. He's just that well-rounded hero that we really like to see. Hoist the Colors. I'm assuming this is going to be a support steal. Could be. They essentially have 3 different supports on their team that they could run. They could have a support Aurora, support Bellica, or a support Steel. So as far as how their laning configuration, not going to know about that until going into the game. That's one thing a lot of teams put prioritization is not showing their cards immediately into the draft, to being a little bit more ambiguous with the heroes that they pick up here. And that's something that Hoist the Colors has accomplished here.
Yeah, I'm ready to jump into game number 1. We saw an absolutely amazing gameplay from Think Twice the other day. I think we're going to expect to see another really solid game out of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, we saw Think Twice, and it was just amazing gameplay, and I think I expect to see some pretty good stuff out of them.
Yeah, they are. So with Hoist the Colors the other day beat Bronze Army. Hoist the Colors had 3 really solid games. Ninja's gameplay in that mid lane was really impressive when he was playing on both Gideon and on Bellica. He played really well. Oracle on that same token played support, that support position really effectively. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams play together. Whether Hoist the Colors is going to be able to have a successful early game start against Think Twice, and that I think that's exactly what they need. They need a successful early game start against Think Twice to put Think Twice on the back foot, and then hopefully carry that advantage to the mid and late game.
The thing Think Twice needs to be concerned about is not being able to find in a good early game.
Look at Oracle talking about early game right now. He unfortunately misses the boink onto Shinx. Shinx is going to use that search and destroy and be able to get away. Already we're starting to see aggressive come out of these guys, and I think we need to see that throughout this particular game. So unfortunately failed gank in the mid lane right off the bat there from Oracle, but I like that we're seeing aggression. Hopefully they can pick this up and we get to see a couple kills here.
Aurora in the offlane, I think this is the first time we've seen it. Look at that skin from Shurik. It's so good.
This is her Lich King skin.
Queen.
Lich Queen skin. I apologize. Did you just assume her gender? It's 2017.
You're going to get like 8 cease and desists from Blizzard now for saying that.
Probably. Well,
Talkflit on Feng Mao. He's been running that hero in the offlane before he was Super Flavor of the Month like he is currently. And his Feng Mao play, it's not necessarily flashy, but it's just consistent. It's just overall, he can get almost overwhelming where he's able to be constantly pushing down your wave. He really understands this hero and his ability to get the hero's kill potential in any given situation, any given scenario. And that's really why I will expect to continue to see Think Twice put Talkflit on this hero. Yes, it's a very strong hero, no doubt about it, but in the hands of a capable player such as Talkflit, it really pushes the boundaries of what you can do with him.
Before we even saw, as you said, Flavor of the Month, Feng Mao, we've seen this hero do really well in the offlane. Other players like Reflect, Ram Riddles, Talkflit, they've played this Feng Mao to a very high level of play before he had, the highest movement speed, before he had good survivability and a way to lock down targets with hamstring. He's always been a player that, once played correctly, is a very strong hero. I hope after the tweaks we see next week, he continues to be played in this position and we see those skilled players pick this guy up, because I think Feng Mao brings a lot to a team. He's more bursty fighter than the other fighters in the game, but he also brings a lot to his team. Shink's in trouble in the mid lane here. Ninja's not going to secure that kill. Does look like he's going to be able to get away. Fatal Barrage continuing to be aggressive, but they've got to be they're going to back off here. Rotation just wasn't there from Think Twice. Good early game start coming out of Hoist the Colors. They are being a little bit more aggressive. They're not getting any kills out of it, but they are making Think Twice think about their engagements a little bit here.
Josh, go ahead and do a little bit of solo cast action here, because I have to restart my client.
Oh, this is going to be horrible for the next 4 to 7 minutes, guys. I apologize. Welcome. Fatal Barrage in the jungle. We saw Fatal Barrage on this hero the other day. He's been playing Sevarog. Sevarog got those changed to those stacks. not much of a presence yesterday, as hopefully we see for him today. He was on Rampage as well. I think he had better gameplay on Rampage than he did on Sevarog. But it's nice to see Sevarog back in these in competitive play. We haven't seen him very much since 41 came out. Or 42 when they changed the jungle in the card system here. Shurik continued to be aggressive in this lane. So many different ways to escape on this particular hero that he can push up. He can be a little bit more aggressive, be in their face as an offlaner. Hopefully keep them on the back foot. We can get some rotations from these jungler here, though. He can put himself in a dangerous situation. Minions pushed up to this tier 1 tower. Shurik's going to do what he can to defend this. We see Fatal Barrage being aggressive in the enemy jungle, trying to pick up that farm. And of course, 2v and Oracle trying to push into Talkflit, but Talkflit is doing a good job of controlling this lane. Clearcast and Nerf. Clearcast was going for that river buff. Nerf picked it up, headed back into the jungle here. Not a lot of aggression coming out of these not a lot of aggression coming out of Think Twice. It does look like Hoist the Colors is trying to make something happen, but every time they rotate, they just Think Twice is under a tower. They're under safe to that tower, or just not in position for them to get these ganks here. Ninja in the mid lane, going to get aggressive on Shinx again, and Shinx is just going to back off. He does land that combo, sticky bomb, void bomb into seismic assault. It does look like Shinx missed both of those, sticky bomb and search and destroy. It'll push under this tower. This may be the first tier 1 tower of the game. Fatal Barrage is here. Are they going to get aggressive onto Talkflit, who is now pursuing 2v? The Subjugate is going to miss. Talkflit does not have his Reaping Dash. 3-man rotation. There's a Tesla Dome onto 2. Oracle's in a lot of trouble. Oracle is going to fall. It does look like Fatal Barrage is running through the jungle, but he may fall as well. Nerf with the pursuit here. The Subjugate lands, but it's just not enough. Nerf is going to hit that right click and take Fatal Barrage off of the map. Good rotation out of Think Twice. Able to keep their tower alive and pick up 2 kills. It's not the target you want to see down. 2v is, of course, the target you're looking for, but they do pick up 2 big kills there. Shane, how's that restart going, my friend? Is he completely gone, Pith? Pith, you want to cast with me? Talkflit continuing to push this lane up here after they've got those kills. 2v and both Oracle are back. He may be able to get some damage onto this tower. I don't think he's going to be able to take this tower, but he will be able to put a little bit of damage on it. Again, mid lane, Shinx is about 75-ish% health. Ninja landing that combo, Seismic Assault into the Void Bomb. We are starting to see a little bit of a rotation from Nerf here. Nerf, we've seen on Rampage a lot, does not miss boulders. He is. Are they going to get Ninja? There we go. Clear cast Nerf. They're on Ninja right now. Does look like will eventually fall. He is going to fall to that sticky bomb coming out of Gadget here. Finally, a pickup in that mid lane, giving Shinx just a moment to breathe. He is going to spend that gold he's earned and rotate back to lane here. No towers fallen yet. 7 minutes, 23 seconds into the game. We've got a little bit of a gold on the side of Think Twice. We're going to start seeing about the 8.5 minute mark here. We'll start to see growth totems come online. It's going to be interesting to see the builds out of Shurik on this Aurora here. He does have a Taskmaster and an Exoskeleton. Does look like Nerf is rotating in to deal with Oracle and 2v. They don't realize he's here. He does have that purple buff. Tier 1 tower is still standing. He's just going to let them go by. I think that's because Fang was just a little bit off into the distance there.
I think it's because Fang was just a little bit off in the distance there.
Thanks, buddy. Welcome back, my friend.
My PC just, it wasn't Paragon, it was my PC as a whole. I'm loading back in. Not just continue to take it away.
Oracle again going to fall. Good rotation from Shinx in the mid lane. Drops down that Tesla Dome and a sticky bomb. They are able to secure another kill onto Oracle. That is 2 deaths for Oracle right now. Shinx is starting to pick up some kills. He's 2-0-1 as of this moment in time. Again, gold lead. It's about a 2,000 difference. As long as I have no graphical bugs, it's about a 2,000 different. Nerf rotating behind Ninja here. Clearcast hooked the wall. Not sure what Clearcast was trying to hit there. But we're not seeing, we're starting to see Think Twice now rotate a little bit more decisively. Oracle, Hoist the Colors started out early. They were looking for those early rotations, trying to pick up kills. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to make it happen. Think Twice is having a bit more success right now. They have got their they've got 3 or 4 kills on their side right now due to their rotations, and they're just collapsing as a team. Much better than Hoist the Colors did. Apostle and Shura continuing to battle it out over in this lane. This is for when I look at this lane, you've got Drongo, who I think has a great way to deal with this hero. Gas grenade, he's got the slow, he's got his shrapnel cannon, so he has an ability, if he needs to use that to escape. But of course, utilizing that together with rad rounds is quite a bit of damage and can really 1v1 most heroes if you use the kit. It's all about understanding how rad rounds and shrapnel cannon works together. We've seen a lot of people say, this hero's not that strong. You watch these competitive players use this hero, and it really makes Drongo shine. Mid lane here, again, a little bit of aggression. It does look like Ninja is going to be under the safety of his tower, so they're not going to pick up a kill. Not much ward coverage on the side of Hoist the Colors. We do have more wards down. Or, I'm sorry, for Think Twice. We've got some safety wards, basically, for Hoist the Colors in their jungle, making sure they're not getting ganked because of the rotations coming out of
Shirk is going to get taken out from underneath his own tower. And that should open up this tier 1 tower in the off lane to be pushed down here, inevitably, by Think Twice. I got to say, so far, Notch, I'm actually, I'm full disclosure, I thought this was going to be like a 20-minute game for Think Twice. Hoist the Colors are performing much better than I expected.
They are playing defensively. I really wanted to see more aggression coming out of them. Unfortunately, their aggression just didn't pay off in that early game. They are playing better than I expected against Think Twice. But once Think Twice starts to come online here, the way they've been rotating and collapsing as a team, I think if the Hoist the Colors is not able to answer back and not able to collapse just as quickly, we're going to definitely start to see Think Twice snowball. They have about a 7,000 gold advantage right now, strictly because of the way they're farming and the kills they've picked up.
How's the Fossil doing? It's been a while since we've seen him. Heavy hitter, growth totem, flame a second. Way to go.
Summed it up perfectly. Way to go. 59 last hit. You compare that to 2B, who's sitting at 54. They're both at the same amount of gold, right? Basically, the same amount of gold. 9,000, 10,000, 1,000 different point. Both farming effectively. Not much action on either side of these teams right now. Think Twice is playing more conservative than we saw them play yesterday.
Yeah, very much so. For those of you who were here and got to watch the Think Twice game that we casted, it was Think Twice's game. We'll put it that way thus far. Don't forget, guys, always take into account this is a European team playing on NA servers. But I do not by any means want to discount what Hoist the Colors has been doing thus far. I don't blame them for playing defensively, to be perfectly honest. They have a duo bruiser front line. Take a look over at Think Twice's draft. Clearcast is far and away the tanky one, while Talkflip, his contribution to team fight. The thing about Think Twice is they group up much later into the game than we normally expect, at least in these more equal sort of battles that we see. Generally, Talkflick is relegated to... He reminds me sort of the European Reflect, if you will, where he's a little bit more static than other heroes, but he's always applying pressure in the lane, and that allows the rest of their roster, generally off the shoulders of Nerf, to rotate around and find pickoffs. Off those pickoffs, then they take the map pressure that they have that was granted to them by Talkflip and have just complete objective control. So I think it's pretty normal to play defensively against a team like Think Twice. I think playing aggressively against
aggressive over here on the Apostle 3-man rotation. He does pop that ultimate to show up from the shadow plane, and they pick up that kill. I apologize. Go ahead and continue.
Thanks, appreciate it. I'll get back to my point that I don't remember.
Oh, okay. So you said you compared Talkflick to Shurik. Is Talkflick
I compared Talkflick to Reflect.
To Reflect. Is Talkflick as lippy as Reflect? It's all love. It's all love. It's all love.
No, that's a conclusive no here. But as I said that, an engagement happened, and look what's happening on the other side of the lane. Talkflip picking up essentially what is a safe lane for free. No opposition coming out here from Hoist the Colors.
I've got Pith laughing in my ear right now. Engagement coming out. Talkflip's got a tower down right now. We're seeing rotation from 2B. Oracle, I would have loved to see Oracle rotate around behind him with Fatal Barrage and try to pick up that kill onto Talkflip. He's really just had his way with this lane. We're also seeing Shurik in the off lane playing Aurora really well. I think Aurora is one of those heroes, Shane. The reason she's been banned is, yes, we've talked about how strong she is. There's not really much counter to her ultimate. But in the off lane position, she has got a great way to freeze minions under her
Yeah.
tower. She's got multiple means of escape. She's got a solid ultimate in those engagements and team fights. You pop that ultimate into minions or multiple heroes, like you said, as it chains, the amount of damage it can do is pretty nasty. He's in a little bit of a trouble right here. Silence is down, tower is down, but of course we're going to see him escape and get away.
The tower goes down, but very rarely do we see a offlane tower staying, a tier 1 offlane tower staying alive for as long as it did here, 14.5 minutes essentially. And it's not like that this lane has not had pressure. Clearcast has been in there helping out a Fossil significantly. So yeah, that really just hammers home the point that you just made, is that during the laning stage, as far as an offlaner goes, Aurora is one of the best at just defending the lane and keeping the safe lane contained, the safe lane duo contained there, and forcing them to apply a little bit more pressure into the off lane. And their ability to rotate, the ability of the safe lane to rotate across the map is very mitigated, because they have to put so much more energy into trying to pick up that tower. Over here near the just outside of the Aurora Prime pit, right by the riverboat, we see Fatal very low. He's able to get away, but Oracle, not the same story. Ninja's trying to do what he can, but the hook from Clearcast is going to be there. The silence as well. The snare from Fury of the Judgment is going to keep him in place and should be pretty easy pickings after that. Topflit, again, he's just sort of inside the lane. He's looming the lane, maybe looking for a little bit of a pickoff here. Almost able to get Fatal right as Fatal backs away to the base. But in mid lane is where the action continues. Shurik being forced to use that frozen simulacrum in order to get away. Still didn't say it right. Still said it incorrectly, but I'm trying here, chat. Give me a little bit of credit at least. Going to push down this tier 1 tower. At least try to in the mid lane, but they have to be careful. Shurik, I'm sorry, Fated Barrage, rather, is back. He's going to use Colossal. Actually, no, Fossil's going to use the ultimate to try to create some distance. There's the Colossal Blow, knocking him away. Oracle, not sure if he has that Shield Slam online, but actually that Seek and Destroy coming out from Gadget with pinpoint precision is going to create a snare and not allow the distance to be close for Oracle to get an ultimate there. And they are able to yeah, they were able to pick up that tier 1 tower in the mid lane. So well done. Think Twice executing very, very well in the last series of events.
So Nerf has picked up a card that we have not seen in the event called Wicked Riposte. What is that? What?
Repost, yeah, Repost. You clearly
Wicked
didn't play
Repost.
a rogue in WoW.
Wait, I did not actually.
A combat rogue.
WoW.
You got
Wicked
Repost. It did a
Repost.
stupid amount of damage in vanilla WoW. It was obscene.
It gives you power and it gives you ability armor, but it also has the activatable unstable purification. It's a 90-second cooldown, costs 75 mana. Purify yourself and deal 75 ability damage to nearby enemies per negative effect that is removed. So a way to counter Aurora in those fights. Should be able to deal. I believe it does an AOE damage just around you.
It's pretty much Purity Sensor. Wicked Repost is pretty much Purity Sensor.
With damage. It's
yeah,
purity sensor with damage.
I don't think it's only on yourself. It's not an AOE cleanse.
It's not an AOE cleanse. It's just on yourself.
But still, a really good tool. One of the few tools available in the current card system to deal with Aurora. That's one of the reasons why Aurora has been so picked very often. Is because that ultimate is so hard to deal with here. So Nerf, man, Nerf, his shot calling is really what he's known for, but he just has an understanding of the game that seems to exceed most captains inside of the game. Right now, he's sort of surrounded by the entire roster of Hoist the Colors. The ultimate of Cryosysm going down. Clearcast uses the hook, but actually gets frozen. That Cryosysm is just getting so many bounces off, but it just doesn't even look like it's enough right here. Think Twice are going to bounce back. They're getting, after getting frozen up. Top flip, Reaping Dash forward, not going to be enough, but still, they find the kill on to steal. Is it going to be enough for them to push down a tier 2 tower? I think they're a little bit too wounded. They're going to have to fall back a little bit. But all things considered, I'm surprised Think Twice came out of that without giving up a single kill. That Cryosysm from Shurik hit 3 to 4 people and bounced several times as well.
Yeah, they just didn't have the damage there. The one thing they did was injure them enough to where a tier 2 tower is going to stand. We're starting to see Apostle and Nerf. They're rotating over, picking up the Raptors, giving that gold over to Apostle here. We haven't seen Raptors picked up all that much. I think Twice has been the only team we've seen really go after Raptors. We talked about it a little bit yesterday. They're an objective that takes a lot of time. It puts you into a weird spot to where you're most likely not going to gain much farm off of those Raptors. But if you get collapsed on, you possibly lose 2 or 3 people depending on who's committed to that. So it's a very dangerous objective for not a lot in return. That's why we haven't seen a lot of teams go after that particular objective. Nerf trying to get Oracle here. He does land the tether, but Nerf is able to just fall off the lip of the Raptor pit there and head back up to the safety of his team.
Possess Spriken. Turns out it's a pretty good card. We see it. Let's see. 1, 2. So yeah, it's being picked up here quite. It's so interesting to me how players and teams in the high MMR base as a whole, just every now and then they just sort of be like, wait, this card's actually really good, and then all of a sudden everyone starts using it. When, you know, a month ago no one used Growth Totem, no one used Possess Spriken. It's always interesting to see how the specifically the card meta is always is developing, even outside of the, you know, big patches every 3 weeks. People are still trying new things, despite the fact that people are pretty conclusive of what they believe to be the quote best cards, end quote.
You've got Possess Spriken, which gives you, it's a 3-cost card. It gives you a lot of power, a lot of health, and then 12.5 health regen. That card used with Growth Totem. We're also going to be seeing Numbing Rogue and Plague Lord Mallet come out. That card just going with those builds. Yes, it can't be removed, but it's got good power. It's got good health. It's got a great passive on it. And it has value throughout the entire duration of the game. It's not one of those cards that falls off where you have to sell it. It just has good value the entire duration of the game. And again, comboing that with some of the other, it just makes it a solid choice and a really easy pickup at 3,000 gold.
Talkflit has the Unbroken Spirit online, so Feng Mao, it's one of those situations where, do we CC him or do we give him that heal? Either way, Talkflit has just been doing such a good job farming 1-0-4 with 116 CS, pretty much going in by himself into a tier 2 tower. We see the Glacial Charge coming out from Shurik. Did not pull the trigger on the ultimate. I was waiting for it, but is still applying some patience, waiting for the most opportune moment that Shurik has available to him here. It's only 3 people in mid. This is a 3v5 defense, and even then, Talkflit's still going in. Oracle gets hit by the Shield Slam, or he's going to peel himself away here, and I think that just was their eyes getting bigger than their stomach right there, no doubt about it. Talkflit going in with essentially half HP, 3v5, and gets cleaned up here, but now Shurik may be ripping a page out of Talkflit's book. He goes in by himself, but is able to get away right here. And even down a man, Think Twice continues to apply the pressure. The side lanes are pretty much at the line of scrimmage at this point in time, have been set. Nerf gets the kill over onto Shurik, so it now is a 4v4 situation. Nerf is pretty low on health, low on mana as well, but the big threat here is a hook from Clearcast. Oracle only level 8, means he has to be very, very careful with his ultimate, which we just saw be used. So his ability to contribute to the defense of this inhibitor is very, very little at this point in time. Going to be much more up to Ninja and Fatal Barrage to hold the ground, and that's what they're going to do. Think Twice is going to back up, but they still were able to pick up a tier 2 tower and continue to apply a pressure in the strong side juggle of their opponent to hoist the colors. They were able to get the green buff, and now we're trying to find some sort of means of aggress to get away without giving up more kills. But right now, 3 people on the side of hoist the colors are chasing down the support player of them. They get Clearcast, who uses out of desperation his ultimate. But still, ultimately, all things considered, those last series of events are going to favor Think Twice.
So, Talkflit's engagement there, I'm going to just assume the reason he engaged. Jinx ended up landing a sticky bomb onto Oracle, which dealt damage to 2v, Shurik, and himself. Talkflit saw a chance to Reaping Dash in and use that ultimate there to try and pick up those kills. Unfortunately, he was hit with a stun the moment he Reaping Dashed in. We did see the ultimate coming out from Oracle, and then the follow-up from Shinx with that Tesla Dome was just a little bit too late, and they weren't able to secure those kills. Yes, Nerf was able to rotate in, pick up a kill on Shurik, but if the follow-up from Think Twice was there, and we saw those ultimates combo the way they wanted them to, I think we would have seen an inhibitor fall. As you said, that definitely favors Think Twice. They picked up the tier 2 tower. They got a little bit of damage onto that inhibitor. They only lost 1 in the engagement. They were back out. Ninja's in trouble here. Ninja was going after their buff with no eyes, and he just gets blown up. This opens up a perfect time for these guys to pick up Orb Prime because they now have a power play, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go through this Orb Prime here. With the power of this card and the rotation, or the power of this objective and the rotation not really coming, this sets up a massive power play for Think Twice, and possibly them taking the game right now.
Shurik is doing what he can as a good offlaner does. He's applying pressure, but right now it's just a tier 1 tower 23 minutes into the game while his mid lane inhibitor is about to be under siege. That wave is set, so they do have a little bit of a pressure being applied if they're able to successfully defend this inhibitor. But at this point, with it already being down to 3/4 HP, it's a very difficult proposition, especially without the zone control and siege defense of Ninja on that Bellica. They're just going to forfeit it. You can tell they're just falling back right now. As you mentioned, Notch, they're going to say, just give up the inhibitor, but keep ourselves in the game.
Yeah, I think that's the best decision as of this moment in time. I think they do need to mount a defense for this inhibitor here. If you lose 2 right now, it may be a major problem. The issue is don't get over aggressive. Let them come to you. Let them come under your tower, and then Shurik can go in and use that ultimate. He is going to land that onto 3 people right now under this tower.
Trying to do what he can. He gets the ultimate off. The follow-up is in there, so at this point, he's pretty much sacrificed himself for nothing. Talkflit zoning out the carry and the offlaner of Hoist the Colors completely by himself and is able to get away with no damage done. Clear cast off of the field, so it is a 4v4, but still the Orb Prime is online, and they still are going to apply pressure over onto this inhibitor. The siege minions are underneath it. Talkflit trying to take down 2v. He's very low. 2v, it does get taken out. Talkflit gives himself up, but he sacrificed himself for the greater good. The inhibitor does fall. That's 2 inhibitors for this single Orb Prime push. Think twice. They're giving up kills, but they're still coming out ahead objectively.
Yeah, we saw a good ultimate coming out of Shurik there. They just lacked the follow-up. Yes, the shield slam came down, but the moment Oracle landed, they just blew Oracle up. We saw Talkflit in the back line keeping 2v and Ninja away from everybody, so they didn't have that follow-up. Good gameplay, good game sense coming out of Think Twice that particular round. 2 inhibitors down. This isn't necessarily a death sentence, but with the way Think Twice has been playing, they're knocking on death's door right now. They want to pick up this win. They don't want to let this game extend too much farther than this. They've got a good gold advantage right now, 21 to 107. We're starting to see Shinx actually picked up a Domain of Stillness to deal with Aurora here. I love this pickup.
Beautiful,
by the way, Shane. This is the 160 power, 230 mana. It's the group stasis. Stasis yourself and all nearby heroes. All nearby heroes, not just your team, but everybody for 2.5 seconds. This will be a great way of dealing with that ultimate.
This is the first time, at least that I can recall, that teams are starting to get cards specific around those big threatening ultimates. Pretty much since Purity Sensor was around, was taken away. And Think Twice continue to show that, the meta doesn't define them, they define the meta.
Ooh. Deep.
I wish more players and teams had that mindset, man. They're one of the few group of players who really will just play the game in the way that they want to play it, as opposed to just saying, oh, well, we're just going to arbitrarily go these cards because everyone says they're good. They say, no, they look at the big picture, and they look at, okay, they have big AoE ultimates between Steel and Aurora, and are picking up cards we haven't seen that often, and are in an absolutely decisive, are winning in a decisive fashion thus far. So don't be afraid to experiment, guys, is the point I'm trying to make here, because right now, who is considered the best team in the world is experimenting, and they are putting on a damn good performance thus far. So the last Tier 2 tower is going to be falling here. Only one more Bastion to hope before the core is completely exposed. And this may be the final stand for Hoist the Colors in this Game 1 of the best-of-3 series, with the winner of this series moving on the finals to face Guile. Shinx just going to stand in the background, look for an opportunity to use a Sticky Bomb and harass. It's up to Nerf to find the initiation or clear cast to land the hook. There's the hook. There's the stasis that we saw. So your game didn't freeze up. That was just the stasis. Looking for a little bit of a reset there. They used that off of the ultimate of Aurora. 2-man shield slam. Talkflit goes in and engages here. The shield slams have been on point, but the follow-up simply has not been there. At this point in time, Shurik is just zoning out of Fossil and Shinx, but the core is going down to creep as we speak here. Think Twice might just let the MVPs of all games, every match, every series, every time. The minions are actually going to take this game. That's going to be it. They went out with a bang, Hoist the Colors did, but they neglected the minion waves, and that's going to be Think Twice taking game number 1.
Think Twice takes game number 1. They've got a huge gold at 142 to 114. 116 gold right here. Really good gameplay, I Think Twice. They started much slower than we saw them yesterday, but they turned it on. They once they came online, their collapses and rotations. Their collapses and their rotations were on point. So congratulations, Think Twice, taking that first game. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to be jumping into game number 2, Hoist the Colors versus Think Twice, in just a minute.